So we're going to create a new file which is the size of the area we want to machine. This is going to be 8 inches by 2 inches in X and Y. Z0 is going to be on the top of the block, material thickness 1/8 of an inch, and XY0 in the lower left corner. Then we can hit OK. Now I'm going to click on the icon to import vectors. I'm going to select the file, and this is a DXF file that was drawn and saved in another design program. When we hit open, we can see that the position of that does not match our material in this job, and that's because it's come in position where it was originally drawn. It's very easy to remedy that. With the vector selected, I can just click on the icon and center that in the middle of my material. Now I'm ready to machine this, so we can click on the icon, which will minimize the design tab on the left, open the toolpaths tab on the right. Now we can double check our material setup by clicking the set button at the top of the toolpaths form. I'm going to check Z0 is the top of the block, thickness 1/8 of an inch, XY0 lower left, and this is so important because this is what we're going to reference on our actual CNC machine to make sure the parts cut correctly. Next, the rapid and home position just need to be set to values that are safe and appropriate for however we plan to clamp the part down. So we just need to make sure these are values that when the tool retracts up to them, it will clear those clamps as it rapids to a new position in the toolpath. So hit OK. Now with the vector selected, I'm going to click on the icon here to profile these. We just want to cut through the material, so I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch deep. I'm going to select the 1/8 inch end mill from the tool database. If we want to, we could edit the values for that to change them. In this case, I'm just going to take the values that we've got there. I'm going to cut outside the selected vectors. I'm going to ramp into the job to reduce the wear on the tool. And I also want to add tabs to the part to hold it in place when we cut it out, because I don't have an alternative hold down method. So if we click Edit Tabs, I'm going to add 4 there, so constant number 4, click Add Tabs, and they're just going to be added to each of the shapes that we're cutting out. Now I don't really need this many tabs to hold the small parts in the center, so I'm just going to click on the ones I want to remove. I can also click and reposition any of these that I want to change their location as well. Once I like the positioning for the hold down tabs, I can hit close. We can provide a name for our toolpath, which helps us identify that when we have a list of toolpaths. I can hit calculate. The software will automatically open the 3D view, showing me a visual representation of my material block, the toolpath within that, and also open the preview toolpaths form here. In this case, we can just take that, preview it, and we can see this virtual block of material being machined by our virtual tools. So what we see on the screen now is exactly what we'd expect to get on our machine when we output this toolpath and cut it, assuming we use all the same reference points and load the same tool. If that looks good, we can close this now. We can hit the Save button. We choose the appropriate post-processor from the list, and this is the file that converts that toolpath into a language that your machine tool understands. Hit Save, give that a name, hit Save again, and that's the file that we'd then transfer over onto our machine in order to cut this part. In this case, I'm not going to actually machine this, so we'll just hit Cancel. If we wanted to keep a copy of this file that we edit later or we could open to work with, then we'd just go up and click on File, Save As, and then give the part a name, and we'd be able to save that onto our hard drive as well. So there you've seen a very quick version of how we can load some data, set up the part so that it's in the correct position, and just create a simple profile toolpath in order to cut the part out. There is a longer version of this tutorial where we go into much more detail for each of these steps, and if you plan to follow this along step by step, then that would be the one to watch. Just one last thing to note: if you do plan to cut this, make sure that you enter values that are safe and appropriate for your machine, the tooling you have, and the material you plan to machine it in. And that concludes this short overview video of our wing spar example. Thanks for watching.